What is up YouTube? It's Kingfisher745, and in this video I'm going to be unlocking the military quarter and facing the first boss, Instructor Razuvious. This boss is pretty fun to face and has a few special mechanics. But before we get into all that and the match itself, let's go ahead and listen to Kel'Thuzad's introduction.
Please ignore the mind control stones next to Razuvious.
Okay, well with that being said, Razuvious does have a special ability that costs 2 mana, and it's called Unbalancing Strike. It's apparently going to deal 3 damage to any target. Then just to quickly read his short bio, it says someone must train the Death Knights brought to life in Naxxramus, and who better than Razuvious? Now for this fight I think I'm actually going to go back to using my Druid. Like I said in the past, it's my favorite deck, and it's the one I'm most comfortable with using. I pretty much always use this deck in Ranked. The only thing is, I have been forced away from it recently. But let's go ahead and bring it out for the first boss of the military quarter, Instructor Razuvious. What you're going to see is my very first attempt, and I had no idea what to expect. All I know is Kel'Thuzad was talking something about mind control crystals, and I do know how the boss worked in WoW. You had to use his own minions by mind controlling them, and then they would tank him. So as we got into the match, we can see that he has 2 minions with taunt. They also appear to be 0/7s. I have to say my opening hand's mana cost was way too high, so we went ahead and mulliganed all 3. Unfortunately it only got slightly better. We end up pulling Naxxramus, Innervate, and Savage Roar. The best part about this hand is that Innervate should come in very handy. Now as the battle begins, you're going to see a special card appear in your hand. This is a Mind Control Crystal. It says it only costs 1 mana, and you activate the crystal to control the understudies. This is pretty epic because it's exactly like the World of Warcraft encounter. Also, Kel'Thuzad was talking about ignoring this. It actually shows an animation on the board, and then we gain control of the understudies. I'm telling you, so far this has to be one of the coolest fights in Naxx. Okay, so after doing that, I feel pretty well protected, and now it's going to be Instructor Razuvious' turn. Well, I guess he had nothing to do, so it's already our turn. So what we're going to do is use our Shapeshift and attack for 1. That's the end of our turn, and now back to the Instructor. He plays the coin, so now he has 3 mana, and then with that mana he's going to cast a massive Rune Blade. This is a 5 attack weapon, so we're lucky that we have those understudies to absorb the hit. Now I see why their taunt was important. Oh, and speaking of that, we just drew a Druid of the Claw, and so that adds another potential protector. In fact, with an Innervate we could have played him this turn, but instead we're going to play an Imp Master, and that's going to be it for now. At the end of our turn, Imp Master loses 1 durability, and we gain a 1/1 Imp. Meanwhile, our understudy does take an Unbalancing Strike, followed by his weapon hit. So one of our taunts have been taken out. On this turn I'm really not sure what I want to do, but I think I'm going to go ahead and use an Innervate, and then I will cast that Druid of the Claw. I might as well put another taunt out there. You never can have too much protection. Then we'll attack for 2 damage, and that's from the Imp Master and the Imp. If we can get even more minions on our side of the board, we can really do a lot of damage with 2 times Savage Roar. In fact, that could easily be a game ender. I guess Razuvious thought that too, because he ends up taking out our Imp Master with an Unbalanced Strike. Then he's also going to play a Master Swordsmith, but it can't boost anyone's attack, and we're definitely going to take it out before it even gets a chance. I can do this by playing our spell card called Wrath. It can do 3 damage for 2 mana. But first, I'm going to pump up all our minions with a +1/+1 Leader of the Pack. Then we can attack for 10 damage, which is going to drop Razuvious down to 27 health. At this point we actually have 30 health and 1 armor, so we're actually over what we started the match with. Also, since we have 2 Savage Roars, we may be able to end this on the next turn. But first, we have to see what the Instructor does on his turn. So it looks like he's going to play a Spiteful Smith, and that does take all of his mana. Okay, so now on our turn we get another Power of the Wild, and I'm actually going to go ahead and play this. So I am going to be extending the match, but only by 1 round. I'm also going to deal with that Spiteful Smith by attacking him with our 6/8 Druid of the Claw. Then rather than using a Savage Roar, I'm going to go ahead and use our Shapeshift ability, and we'll completely attack Razuvious. Even after spending 6 of our attack on his minion, we're still going to drop him down to 18 health. Meanwhile, right after we gain this extra armor because of our shapeshift, we'll be at 32 health. Well, at least in essence. So now he's going to use Unbalancing Strike, and he does hit our highest attack minion, but he leaves him alive with only 1 health. Then he plays a 5/6 Necro Knight, but it doesn't have taunt, so we're just going to ignore it. Now it's going to be the final round of the match, and we're just going to use 2 Savage Roars, and we will easily end this one. This is truly going to be a massive attack bonus. As you can see, we can now deal 30 damage. That's almost enough to finish the Instructor twice. In fact, we only need to attack with 3 of our minions, and then we easily finish this one up. That's a -5 finish, and I'll call it an epic overkill.
Who will train my Death Knight now? I can't do it myself. I'm super busy.
Now only the reward remains, and it's going to be Dancing Swords ×2. This is a 4/4 for 3 mana, but it does have Death Rattle. Your opponent draws a card. That's a pretty serious Death Rattle. It definitely doesn't help you to make your opponent draw a card. But you could find a way to silence your own minion, and then potentially it could be worth using. But I'm not too thrilled about this one. And that's going to be it for the first boss of the military quarter. 1 down and 2 to go. Thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, good luck and take care.